They was
Hey
waiting for you.
guys, what's up?
They were waiting for you. I was like, who are all these people? Oh my God.
Hey guys.
So, Miriam, oh my God, it's been so long since I've even seen you.
I know, it's been a minute.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, I met Miriam through Paula. When you guys were like partners in Bombshell working, right?
Yep.
And that's how I initially met Miriam, through her. So shout out to Paula, because I would not know Miriam if it weren't for her. And
Yeah.
now, Miriam, you have your own space in Norwalk, right?
Yep, I'm in Norwalk. Yep, right
Yes.
on Westport Avenue.
Yeah. So why don't you tell them exactly what you do and what you specialize in?
Okay. So welcome everyone. My name is Miriam and I'm a hair care specialist, now known as a spa stylist. And the reason why I came up with that meaning is because everything is just solely focused on hair care itself. And I wanted to create an experience inside of my suite. So I turned everything into just spa life. So I want everything spa vibes, meditate and all that good stuff. So I specialize in hair care. I niche down to just doing silk presses and, like other natural add-on extensions, only for VIP clients though. But,
Oh, I did see that.
right?
We're gonna
You
talk about
see?
that. We're gonna talk about that.
So yes.
So you said hair care, natural hair care is like your specialty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did you start that because I know like right now it's all about wigs,
Right.
full frontals. Like, so how did you think like, let me go to this lane?
Right. So I decided to go into hair care in general. So I do relaxers and things like that. As long as your hair is healthy, I'm working with you. That's my goal, to help you get on that path. But it was just one day I was in the suites and I'm just like, I don't want to do everything anymore. Like, it was becoming overwhelming. I noticed that I was doing everything for money. And when you do everything for money, you're trying to jump on every trend. You're trying to learn different techniques and you really don't have the passion to do it. So you're like, okay, I want to learn this lace front. I want to do this traditional. I want to do this color. I want to do everything. Anything that's new, I'm hopping on. But as soon as that client come in the door or right before I'm looking at my books, I'm like, dang, I don't feel like doing this. Right? Like, and I'm like,
You just gave me goosebumps. I love that because it's so true. I feel like that, not even just in hair care, but in everything. Like, anyone who's an entrepreneur, it's like there's so much pressure to make that money. So you start doing things that you don't even want to do,
right?
Because you have to stay on trend. You have to keep up with what everyone else in your business is doing. But you found your niche, which
right.
was hair care. How did you figure out that's what you wanted to do?
Because I realized that I didn't mind doing it. Like, I felt like, okay, not only that it's quick, but it's something I enjoy doing, like just seeing the transformation within the hair and actually helping people, accomplish their hair goals. And once I did that years before, I'm like, okay, this is actually working. This system and strategy is working for people and I'm enjoying it. I was always that stylist, even when I was at home. I never mind taking my client to that kitchen sink to wash their hair. Like, I'm like, okay, you need a treatment. We need to do this. We need to do that. Always. So I'm like, you know what? This is my calling. This is what I'm really, really here to do.
Wow. So initially, when you got into hair, what did you want to do? Like, what was your goal initially?
So my goal, I never really, let's see. So I started doing hair because my older sister does hair. So she's a hairstylist. So I followed in behind her steps. I really wanted to be bomb at weaves. Like, wow. I'm like, you know what? I like this. Because when I started doing hair, I was braiding and I was doing like extensions. So I really wanted to be the best at that at first. But then my hands started cramping up and I'm like, this is not it. This is not it. My hands don't work the same. So I'm like, okay. But that's what really, really started me in the industry. My sister and me wanting to do like extensions and braids all the time.
So that, you said your sister. So how long have you technically been doing hair?
So dang, how old am I? I'm 30. Dang, hold up. So like I would say I've been doing hair since I was like 10. Like
Wow. Okay.
literally, like I've been doing hair since I was 10. I was the girl that didn't go to gym class. I was on the blenchers braiding the guy's hair. Like
The
every
what? The
gym
munchers?
on the bleachers.
What the fuck is a muncher?
No, the bleachers.
Oh, I thought you said munchers. I'm like, what is it? What is she talking about? Okay, the bleachers. You was on the bleachers.
And then doing their hair, they sitting in between my legs, braiding their hair up. Never participated in gym at all.
Me neither, girl. I hated gym. Oh my God. I used to try to get notes from doctors and everything. Like, take me out of this. What is this? Yeah. So wow, 10 years old. Well, you know, my mother's actually a hairstylist. She had her own salon in Bridgeport for 18 years. And it's so funny that you say that because she literally was doing everything, but her specialty was haircuts.
Right.
And I tell her now, you know, how much the industry has changed where you really could do your specialty and just focus on that. But it wasn't like that back then. You really had to do everything.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. So your reels have like put you in a whole nother like stratosphere online on social media. Like your reels have become such a thing for you. Like when you initially started doing it's hair trimming that you do,
right?
People find it so satisfying. Like when you initially started doing that, what was your thought behind that?
So I would say this really started during the pandemic. When I really started to push myself, I didn't have anything else to do. I was sitting in the house and I'm just like, okay, like I got to do something. And that's when I was dropping my product line around that time. So I'm like sitting here, I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting on a whole bunch of content. And I realized I wasn't able to push my content as much when I was working behind the chair versus me, you know, not doing anything. So that's when everything really took off. I was posting literally every single day, twice a day. I started to see my following starting to grow. And then I realized everybody is gravitating towards the hair cutting. So I'm like, okay, let me see if I post more of this, if, you know, that would help. Started posting more haircuts. Everyone loved it. Everything was just flowing. Kept posting consistently. And that's when the regular videos were out. Then Reels came about and it took off.
So we have somebody wanting to join. Do you know Nika?
I can't see. I mean, you can add them in if you want.
All right, let's see what's going on, Nika. I'll accept you. I don't know. Let's wait and see if she actually joins in. Okay, so so you were out of work for all that time with COVID, right? And that's how you started the Reels. So what advice would you give people who are struggling? Because that's something that I struggle with right now is the Reels, girl.
Right. So it's really just like, I feel like when you're creating Reels, I feel like you have to be like authentic. Like you have to, when you're making personal Reels, you have to find Reels that fit your personality and fit who you are. Because what I see out in the industry now is people are creating Reels and it doesn't go with their personality. So you're looking at it like, now you know you don't be acting like that. Like you be looking at it like that looks so cheesy. Like, like, and then I realized like,
girl, like I don't be wanting to sound like a hater, but like it's kind of annoying. It's like so repetitive at this point. It's like, can't you like do something for your own? You know, that's what I love about what you do with the Reels is you always switch it to fit your personality and your business, you know, and that's kind of difficult to do, but you've kind of mastered it.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like, I mean, like once you find something, just be yourself when you're creating it. Like, you know, I feel like we try to recreate so many other content that we need to be the content ourselves and just do it. Like, because at first I used to try to get dressed doing this content. I'm like, I am not about to do all this. Like, y'all about to get what y'all get.
So that's what I'm struggling with right now. I you know, I'm trying to break it. But it's so hard for me to just show everybody me just all natural.
Yeah,
very difficult.
True. Look, pimple, everything. I'm like, what
girl?
The heck?
But like, give us some advice, man.
It's true. Yeah. So like, when it comes to Reels, You definitely have to post consistently, and you also have to know what you're talking about. Like, you don't want to bounce everywhere on your page. Like, you want to focus on one topic and stick with it. Sometimes, you know, it's easy to get inspired by different reels and start posting, but then we end up all over the place. No one knows where our direction is going. So if you're going to be focusing on your silk presses and your business, you need to focus on that. You don't want to focus on your silk presses and your business and focus on John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith at the same time, because it's not going to align together.
So Touched by Angel Official, she said your content be fire, sis. Yes, it does. Definitely has been motivational for me. And it's so motivational, especially like when I met Miriam, you weren't doing what you're doing now. So like to see the growth has been amazing.
Thank you.
Any viewers, if you want to ask a question, just click the little question box at the bottom so that I actually see your question, because if you comment it, I might miss it. But so let's get into it, girl, because I already, you know what I'm saying? You know where we from and what the talk of the town is.
Right. Here we go.
The talk of the town is prices, honey. It's the prices. So a few days ago, the Shade Room asked, how much would you pay for a silk press? And, you know, the comments were going crazy. I guess, I think the girl paid, what was it, 200? Or no, was it 200? Yeah.
Yeah, it was 200.
And then she said she ended up paying 220 because of her hair density. Now, a traditional silk press with Miriam will cost 285.
Right, yep.
Now, how did you even come up with these prices?
So basically, when I first started out doing my silk presses, I was charging $25. So it's not like overnight I'm like, okay, boom, you know, I'm charging this amount. But I started at $25. I kept increasing my prices. I started to see the value in my work, and I also started to add an experience to my service. The thing about the price, it seems very high, but all in one, it's really not that high, because if you go to a salon, you're booking a silk press, you see that silk press mark, and they're charging $45 for a silk press. But that's just to wash and straighten your hair. You're getting like one shampoo and a conditioner. But then when you ask to add on the works, or you want 2 more shampoos, that's extra. There's add-ons. So my goal was to remove the add-ons, and you just come and you receive a full package all in one. With the price increasing to $285, I decided to add more of an experience and add more intense treatments to my services, like scalp treatments, hand massages, and things like that. So that's all exclusive. As well, when you charge certain prices, you attract certain clients. My goal isn't to attract the people that's commenting under my page saying, oh, that costs too much, because I don't want you in my chair.
Okay.
So
because we don't need the vibes that you're bringing.
Exactly.
We don't need that energy. I get you.
Exactly. And at first my heart was like, I was pounding, because my first post that I posted, the feedback was crazy. But then I'm like, this is not my target. You know, it's time to get rid of y'all. That's what I wanted to ask
though. Like, was it scary, like at first? Because whenever anyone raises their prices, it's scary. As an entrepreneur, I know that. Was it scary to actually post like, these are my prices?
So yes, at first it was completely, I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm scared. Like, I already just went up on my prices. But now I'll do it in a split second.
Well, so you said that at first you didn't want to do it. So who was motivating you to do it?
So I feel like because I've been working at multiple salons like previously. So multiple salons, every salon atmosphere I walk into, I feel like everyone was so motivating to, like, you know, increase your price. Like, you know, and it's like, but nobody's going to come to me if I do that. But, you know, it's like, once I did it, people were still coming. There was no issues. You know, when you increase your price, you're going to get rid of certain clients, but you're also going to gain clients as well. So it was very nerve-wracking, because I'm like, nah, I'm scared.
So beautiful Sanj asked, did you do any schooling?
As far as
for hair care, I guess? Like what type of
So in
schooling?
cosmetology school, they don't really teach you like anything about a silk press or hair care. They teach you like the basic treatments and things like that, and sanitation and blowouts, but nothing really focusing on like natural hair.
So that's
But
all self-taught.
yeah, so and I would take like on Instagram if I seen courses and classes, I would take courses on silk presses as well, just opening up my mind to what it actually is, because it was at one point where I didn't even know what a silk press was. I remember I was working at a salon. I didn't know what a silk press was. I was asking the girl I was working at, I was like, I have somebody that just booked for a silk press. Like, what do I do? Like, I didn't know what to do.
Well, so I told you my mother is a hairstylist, but my mother's actually Puerto Rican.
Oh, shoot.
So I've never had a silk press. I really don't know what it is.
Right. So a silk press is like it's a straightening system where your naturalistas are able to wear their hair straight with their hair reverting back. So that's what a silk press is. And a silk press is supposed to be like the healthier version of a blowout. But nowadays, everyone has a different definition of a silk press. So I highly recommend, if anybody is seeking to get the service done, that you ask your stylist what's included and all of that good stuff, because everyone has a different definition of it.
Well, it's so funny that you mentioned that, because on Facebook the other day, there was this debate about the same thing we're talking about, prices for a silk press. And a lot of the girls were saying, I paid $45 and I still get an exact silk press.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference between when you're paying the $45 or whatever they charge and then $285? Is there really a difference in what you're actually receiving as far as services?
I feel like it's all the atmosphere and the experience that you want. You may get that $45 silk press, but you may be waiting an hour or 30 minutes before you get service. So there's a difference. Just like purses and bags and name brand stuff, they may look the same, but the experience is going to be different. Like it's two different things.
That's very true. A lot of people don't know that when you pay for these designer things, what you're paying for is the experience.
Right, correct.
The experience of actually how you receive this item. You can, go back to exchange it or get it, fixed or whatnot. But we have Kelly Shep Hair said, how did you, Miriam, become so comfortable with your prices?
So I became comfortable when I realized, like, number one, once the demand goes up, you have to, that's boom, you have to increase your prices. Your demand is up, your books are getting full, you're making more room for new clients, getting rid of olds, or retaining clients. So once your demand goes up, you already have the okay to increase your prices.
Now, when you initially increase your prices, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, so I know how it can be. Did you see a time period where you were like, oh shit, or I don't know, like, did it pause for a minute?
I wouldn't say it paused, but I would say that I did have some complaints from some old clients, because some old clients feel like you're their mother and you're babying them, and that they've been with you for so long that why should I have to pay this and da 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 da. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you put me on. The price is the price now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And that's just that. It's uncomfortable at first, but once you do those first couple of increases on your prices, it comes easy.
So Kelly Shep here, the same one who asked this question, he said, what about they should be grandfathered in. So what about grandfathering in old customers? Do you do that?
What do you mean by that?
So when you grandfather someone in, that means since they've been with you for so long, they get to keep that set price rather than go up. No. We not doing that. I don't know.
Yeah, I used to. I definitely used to do that. I used to be like, okay, you know what? Since you've been with me, I'll do this and that or whatever. But no, it doesn't make any sense, because now that your demand is going up, now you're working on a Saturday. Your books are becoming full on Saturday, and you're charging the people that have been coming to you on Saturday for all this time for less when you have other people that want to come in on this day. You're losing out on money.
speaking of which, okay, so I love your Instagram. I always like, you know, when I do catch your videos, I love them and I read the comments. So one time, this was a while ago, maybe when you initially changed your prices, or maybe it was like a video you did recently, and someone commented about the days that you work. And she said, why don't you just work more days a week in order to charge less?
I'm a mother of 4. So I want to be able to enjoy time with my children and be able to pursue my career at the same time. I feel like as an entrepreneur, you can switch your schedule whenever you want to switch your schedule, and you can make it available to whomever you want to make it available to. So, you know, most of my clients, I would say most of my clients work from home, or their schedules are very flexible. But once you realize what kind of client and, you know, audience you want to attract, you start to receive those clients where they're able to work with your schedule. So it doesn't even matter what days you choose to work out the week.
So I want to try to get to everyone who's commenting. Jody said your salary is Jody.xo. Your salary is supposed to increase with cost of living and inflation. This is something that I need people to understand. When you work for, you know, when you work for yourself, when you work a 9 to 5, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just quit my last 9 to 5 like 3 to 4 years ago. When you work a 9 to 5, you're getting that like dollar increase a year or whatnot, right? But this stuff is still getting higher and higher.
Exactly.
Rent is not increasing $1. Rent is increasing by a lot. Okay.
A lot.
So I believe, you know, even people who work 9 to 5s, they should be getting a lot more after a year. You know, those yearly or annual increases should be a lot more. But you know, you can't knock people who choose to work for themselves and make their own price list, you know?
Right. Exactly. I totally agree.
Oh my God, you guys are going crazy. So our beauty bar, why do us as the stylists gotta even explain that though? I work when I want to work. That's it. Totally agree, girl. I completely
I feel like
even
you
with
don't
your
have
prices,
to explain. Shoot.
Even with your prices, there's so many people who complain. But if you're complaining, it's because you want to come to me, sweetie, right?
Yeah.
You want to come get service by me, but you ain't got the coins.
Yep, exactly.
That's the only reason you would complain.
Exactly.
So let's see. Love Kaylee Nicole said, how did you choose to do deposits versus charging full price if they miss?
So I actually just switched my policy only because I was looking into the rules and the regulations and the laws and want to get deep down into that, preventing disputes and things like that. So what I realized, out in Connecticut, we are not allowed to charge for a service that is not being serviced. So if someone misses a service, legally, you cannot charge them for the service.
You putting me on.
For the service, but you can charge them a fee. So now, you know, instead of me wording it as, you know, you have to pay the remaining balance of your service, I worded it as, if you miss your appointment, you now have a $155 fee for each service. So regardless of what service you miss, you have a $155 fee.
Exactly. So let's see. Our beauty bar said clients think they are paying for a lifestyle, and that's not true. They're paying for a service, and that's it. If it's not in your budget, find someone who is. I totally agree.
Yep.
Because listen, I'll be completely honest and transparent with you guys. Miriam is not in my budget. Okay? She's not. One day she will be, and I will be going to Miriam. But right now she's not. So I don't complain about Miriam's prices. I simply find someone in my budget, and when I can afford Miriam, I go to Miriam. But I think it's very offensive to tell people to change their price. But there's exceptions to that, and we'll get to that later on. All right, so let's see. Freshly Rooted Salon, it's a booking fee and cancellation fee. So now, one big thing, I would assume that you don't really have problems with this, but a lot of things I hear about stylists is, how come when we're late, there's late fees, but when the stylist is running late, or got us waiting, they don't give us any money back.
Yeah. So I don't play that. Like, I don't play that. I did have to learn from that and just learning how to, you know, retain my clients. I have been through that where I'm running behind and, you know, I'm not giving them a discount. But when I was doing that, I wasn't taking deposits or having all those fees either. But I do take in consideration of everyone's time. And I'm very like I'm such an on-time person when it comes to my clients because I don't want anyone waiting. And that's one of my like pet peeves. Like, I want you to be serviced on time. Like, I want you to experience what you don't experience anywhere else. But if it happens for me to run behind or anything like that, I do apply, you know, my policies to myself as well.
Wow. I love that.
Thank you.
Kelly Chef Hair said they should stop going to them and come to more prompt stylists. I love that he, I think you're a he, I'm sorry, I see a little picture there, but I love that he said that because I feel like as a consumer, you also have responsibilities. You know what I mean? As a consumer, I do my research. I'm not just putting money into someone's pocket, you know? I'm gonna do my research as thoroughly as I can.
Right.
But I think a lot of consumers are going into it, especially now with social media. They feel like, well, let me see. Yeah. And then if they don't get what they're expecting, you know, they run to social media. So has anybody ever ran to social media to blast you for something?
Yeah. And that's when I realized I need to stick to my niche. Like, I'm like, oh shoot. But I mean, like, you know how you have like consultations with someone and you tell them like, I think you should do this, but they're so adamant about it, they want to do it their way. And I'm letting you know that but so many words that I cannot do that. You know, but it's like try. It was this horrible color I did. So I do.
I love that you're so honest about that. But continue.
It's like she wanted the most. Her hair was short and it was just a mess. Then she brought it to social media. She was tagging me and stuff like that. I'm just like,
Jazz. So wait, she brought it to social media. She was tagging you?
Yep. She tagged me and I'm just looking at it. I'm like, okay. I was so scared because I always seen everyone else get blasted. And I was like, I don't want this to be me. I did not want this to be me. I was like, oh my gosh, my life is over. Like, my heart was in my stomach. I'm like, nah, like, this is it. I'm doomed. I'm done. But like, I had to realize, like, she didn't listen to me. And it was my fault for performing the service. Yeah. And whatever, it is what it is. I had clients the next day and I was telling them about it. Like, you know, when I tell y'all something, listen to me. Like, listen to me. It's true. It was, yes.
So I didn't see that. I wish I not saying I wish, listen, I love some mess. I love a little gossip and a little drama. I wish I would have caught it. I didn't see that happen. But so how did you get over, because I always fear that too. As a business owner, I think that's one of the things we fear the most is like someone just And like you said earlier, you want to attract a certain clientele. And I think charging those higher prices, you know, you're getting a certain type of person,
right?
You know, who's just a little bit more. I don't know how to explain it, y'all. I don't want to say nothing crazy.
No, say it.
But you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, because I could be very ratchet, I could be ghetto, I could be all that. But I don't want to attract certain clientele that's going to be blasting me for like, that's why I'm very quick. Listen, Miriam, and I don't know if you are, but like, I'm very quick to be like, here's your money back to somebody who starts to act a little funky because I don't need this.
Yeah. Yep. No,
so
I feel you.
Do you have a refund policy?
So, yeah, I don't know. It's no refunds. It's like, there's no refunds. Like, we're going to consult and I'm going to let you know, like, somewhat what your hair look like. You know, some people come in with high expectations and they got hair like this and they be showing me a picture of something else. And I'm like, well, let me show you a little bit of what it's gonna be, you know, but there's no refunds. That's why I really enjoy the consult before the appointment, just to see what we got working, what we got going on. And if I have to turn you away, I won't charge you a fee for the rest of the service, but at least you paid your deposit, which will go towards your consultation.
And how much is the deposit?
The deposit is $105.
Oh, all right. So Miss Coco said, I think it just attracts people who are serious about hair care. I agree. You know, listen, I'm one of those people that I love the whole lace front, and I still want a lace front. I've never had one really technically, but I love it. But I only love it if you're taking care of what I have underneath, because I like my natural hair. That's what I wear out mostly. And if you don't take care of that, there's a lot of stylists who can give you those looks. Yeah. But in the process, your hair can get damaged. And are lace fronts technically damaging to all hair? Like, is there a safe way to do it?
Shoot, I don't want to sit here and lie, because I don't know. I don't really, like, I mean, I feel like it's the way you put it on. Some people, like, yeah, Jody got all her edges.
Okay. Yeah, Jody.
Like, I feel like the way she puts it on, like, she puts it on in a healthy way. Like, you know, I feel like some people wear their wigs with the glue on and they keep trying to re-glue it, or they're not maintaining it properly and things like that. And I feel like that's what causes it, depending on where the glue is. Because if the glue is on the hair and you're just ripping everything out, you're gonna rip all of that out in front of here.
Somebody did that recently. A celebrity, she was like ripping her.
Yeah, I've been seeing that, where people just like on the internet
ripping it
off. Like, what are you doing? Like, why?
Onyx Shay said, how do you consult someone who lives in another state?
So I'm actually gonna start bringing the consulting back online via Zoom. And I used to do that for, like, during the pandemic, come up with like hair care regimens for people and have like a virtual consultation. So usually, like, you'll wear your hair out, you know, you can see everything, like when you're on camera and everything like that. If you have certain spots where you want to point out and things like that, we can consult that way as well. Because I do have clients that travel from Atlanta, Maryland, everywhere.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that. Now, do you charge more for like more density and length?
I used to, but now the price is just the price. I feel like, you know, I block out a good 3 hours for that amount. So if we go over the 2-hour marking period, we have at least another hour. You know, I like to time frame everything. I put all my content in the appointment. I try to include everything in that one session, so you don't have to worry about any add-ons at all. So before, I used to charge a set price, and then if it goes over 2 hours, I would charge an additional amount. So I just rounded it off as if I had to charge them that amount, and just put that and include that in my pricing, so that you don't have to worry about any add-ons at all.
I love that. And it was Shenseea. Thank you, D, Lady D. It was Shenseea who ripped it off, and she still had her edges. Miss Explicit, hey Tiff, she says some people don't have no damn edges, and these stylists will gorilla glue the last hair standing. Listen, those are stylists I can't go to, because I love my hair, and I love that natural hair care has become such a thing for Black women, because a few years ago it wasn't.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see. If you want to ask a question, you guys just click the little question box. We have like 20 more minutes left. So click the question mark so that I don't miss your question, please. Because if you comment it, I might miss it. Thank you, Boo. Loving the hair. I did this for Miriam because you know, y'all, I chopped my hair off. So this is a wig. Listen. It is what it is. All right. Now, I do want to say, you know, your price is your price. A lot of people don't know there are stylists who charge like crazy prices. For example, do you know who Ted Gibson is?
No.
So Ted Gibson, he's one of my favorite hairstylists. He's a Black man, and he was on TLC's What Not to Wear. And for a haircut, he charges $1,200.
Period.
Just for a haircut. All right. I love it. Because let me tell you something. When my mother had her salon in Bridgeport, they was charging like $25, $30 for what would be like, I guess, a silk press.
Right.
And I'm not breaking my back giving you a silk press for those $25, $30.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a hairstylist, and I'm not doing that. That's crazy.
Exactly. Yep. No, seriously.
All right. Now, you did garner, I saw that SZA posted your video. How did that feel?
I was like, first, I didn't even know about it. Like, one day I said, you know what? I need to clean my DMs out because I had like over 200 unopened read messages. I was like, let me clean this out. Then as I was going through them, it was like, you know, SZA posted your work on Twitter. And I'm like, for real? And then she screenshotted it. She showed me. I went to her page. And I'm like, oh, wow. I'm like, yes. So that really made me feel good. I'm like, okay, we're getting there. You know, we're getting there.
I love that. We're gonna get back to this, but listen, they're going crazy. All right. So Miss Coco said the white salons don't talk about these things. No shade. Girl, okay? Yeah. Because I was working with, I do production and media and marketing. I was working with a salon in Greenwich. Shout out to Becker Salon. I love them so, so much. Now the owner is not white. He is Hispanic, but the clientele is majority white. And now their prices, you know, would battle yours.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? And it's never a conversation. Right. It is what it is. And that's why I love when Black women and Black men raise their prices and stand firm in it, because when it's a white person charging, there's never any questions.
Right. Yep.
But when a Black person, it's almost like we have to work so much harder. And the expectation, even from other Black people, is that you work very hard, even for a penny. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So what do you say to those people who feel like what you're charging is like a scam? Or
I say, you know what you want. And if you feel like someone is charging too much, don't even inquire about the price, or don't even ask no questions. Just look into who you want to go to. If you have questions and you're interested in it and you're not trying to like debate and argue with them and talk them down on their prices, okay, cool. Let's consult and have a conversation. But if they're not in your budget, then they're not in your budget. And that's really, really okay. Like, I know that we be like, you know, if you can't afford us, it's okay. And people think we're saying it, you know, sarcastically, but it's like, we're being serious. Like, if you cannot afford it, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be mad and make all these comments and screenshot and tell people, like, you know, if you can't afford it, it's okay. And then on top of that, you have to know where you live. You know, I feel like in Connecticut is expensive as well. So there's different places where you're going to be able to target people that are able to afford it. In certain cities and towns, you may not be able to do that because it may be lower.
Yeah.
It may be higher, you know?
So Jody XO said the bob is giving. Can we get a 360? Yeah. Healthy hair. I love me.
Shout out to my sister. My sister did my hair today. I was like, I didn't do my hair.
Which sister?
Teresa.
Oh, do I know her?
Salon Dimensions.
Is that Rhea?
My oldest.
Oh.
Yep. Rhea's the middle child.
So
I'm the baby.
Leslie Nava Shea Hair said, how was the transition when switching to a natural hairstylist?
Wait, say that again?
So how was it transitioning into only doing natural hair?
It felt good. It felt good. I feel like it didn't happen overnight. And the way I was able to niche down was basically on my page, I would just post silk presses. But I wouldn't stop offering the services that I was offering to my clients. I just promoted what I wanted to do versus promoting what I didn't want to do, because I was still doing things that I didn't want to do. But in order to stop that, I had to show the world that I wasn't doing that, if that makes sense. So I was just showing the silk presses. I was still doing the sew-ins and the ponytails and all that in the inside, but nobody knew that.
A lot of people are asking, when will you start providing classes to people?
So I'm working on a new ebook for the spa sleigh, which is the traditional silk press, but I'm working on a new ebook for the spa sleigh. And I'm trying to work on this course and class. I've been trying to do this for a while. I was really camera shy at first, but now I'm like ready to get to it. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated on that. So hopefully before the year is over.
Someone asked earlier if this is going to be saved. This will be available on YouTube, you guys. So it's not going to be saved on Instagram, but you can catch a replay on my YouTube channel. I think it was Rhea Stylist who asked that. Miss Explicit said, I had clients tell me they couldn't afford me, went to someone else, and came back just to pay me more than I previously asked.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that happens all the time. It happens all the time. And like, you have to just sit there and just like not say anything. Like, that'd be the part. Like, in my head, I'd be like, that's what you get. Like, nobody told you to do that. You should have never been, like, I already told you what you needed to do. Like, I told you what you needed to do. I told you the goals that you're able to accomplish. But, hey, you're going to do what you want to do. But you live and you learn. You got to live and learn anyway. So, it is what it is.
All right, so you guys, I'm going to take 2 more questions that I already have from the audience because I want to ask the rest of my questions. All right. So we have Nia Davis said, when is the hair growth oil coming back?
Man, I don't know.
I have it, by the way, and I've been using mine.
Like, okay. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do as far as products. Like, I'm working on all of that, guys. I'm working on it. I promise. I will keep you guys updated.
It's I know it's hard, girl, because
yes.
We'll get into that another time. But Jasmine Does My Hair said, how was your transition into your suites? Pros versus cons.
I feel like the transition was pretty simple. It was very easy. It was simple. It was just the matter of stop working for a certain amount of time and then jumping back into it expecting to be booked and not 100% booked. That's where I was like, dang.
Well, so that's what I meant. That's what I meant earlier when I said, did you see that like pause?
Oh, yes. So as far as that, yes, I stopped working for a certain amount of time. I was posting on Instagram. So I thought that since I was still posting, that once I post that my books are going to open, that they were just going to fill up, but that wasn't the case. It was really slow at first. It started picking up little by little, but after I realized, I'm like, I didn't really have a plan and strategy to get my clients to come in my chair. I just thought, since I had all these followers, that as soon as I posted, I was going to be booked in demand.
And when it didn't happen quite how you thought, like, did you just like work with what you had, or did you start doing other things?
So I went back to the drawing board. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to work with the clients that I do have. In the meantime, I'm going to create systems and strategies on how to attract clients and let them know that I'm in the chair. Because when I wasn't working, I was focusing on helping other stylists and other entrepreneurs in the industry. Hey, cousin.
Hey, Cora. You guys, Cora DR, she's an amazing makeup artist and has her own line. You can check her out. All right. So I know that you charge your price. How do you feel, in this world today, everyone's an entrepreneur. Everybody has a business. Yes. And how do you feel about people who are fresh on the scene charging the same price as you, because they see you charging what you charge, and now they're like, oh, well, I could charge that. So how do you feel about newcomers charging?
I feel like I wouldn't jump to the high price yet. I would charge I wouldn't be too cheap with your prices, but I would charge something that's affordable that will attract clients so that you can build the content and get the demand and show your clients what you're capable of instead of just jumping right into this high price. Because when you jump into the high price and you don't have anything to back you up as far as content or any type of reviews or anything like that, they're not going to book you. So I will work on increasing your prices as you go, but don't jump into a high ticket.
I agree. Now, like we said, SZA posted your video. Is celebrity clientele one of your goals?
So it really wasn't one of my goals, only because, but this is just from what I hear. So it wasn't one of my goals at first because I'm like, I heard they don't pay that much. I heard they want to
That was my next question.
cheesy and cheap and things like that. And then I'm like, I think I do want to do some celebrity haircuts. Like, I'm starting to see more celebrities with their natural hair out. I see Nicki Minaj with some long hair.
Okay.
As soon as I see her hair, I'm like,
to say Nicki Minaj.
Right.
Shout out.
I want to cut it so bad. Like,
Paula said, y'all gotta crawl before you walk. Paula,
yes.
we were just talking about you earlier because Paula is the reason why I even know Miriam. But
yes.
So true. You gotta crawl before you walk.
You gotta crawl.
I know everyone has a business and everybody's doing something now, but honey, you know what I'm saying? Take your time. Start somewhere. Now, celebrity clients, like you just mentioned, they don't really a lot of times pay. A lot of times. Well, let me not say they don't pay. So the pay is not monetary. The payment is the exposure that you receive from servicing them. So is that something that you're willing to do, service celebrity clients for free?
Yeah. I mean, if it's Nicki Minaj, if it's Cardi B, if it's SZA, it all depends. Like, you got to bring the demand, but I'm not just going to just do anybody. And I know that.
And can you explain to everyone why you would do them for free?
Because I feel like they have a lot of fan base and they're a huge influence to our industry, and a lot of people look up to them and they love them. So that will influence them more to, book with you or even inspire other celebrity artists as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of times people are like, well, why would you do that for free for a celebrity? But you have to understand that it's technically not for free. It's an exchange of service because they built up such a name for themselves that now, that's their payment, is the exposure that you're receiving by servicing them.
Right.
So, so who would be like your goal celebrity client?
Cardi.
That ends the interview. No, you guys, I'm a barb for life.
It's no beef, like without the beef. I don't know.
She aight.
Beyonce too. Beyonce, I don't even know if I would be able to cut Beyonce hair.
You would be crying.
I was like, oh shoot. Like,
you would cut something off.
I'm like, oh my God, all right. I'm gonna just It's true. Yep.
Right. Now, when people go to get their hair done, a lot of times people think that, especially I think it too, when a hairdresser was behind me, they're like looking at what I'm doing on my phone. Do you do that? No. Yes, you do.
Wait. Shut up. No, I used to do that. I really used to do that. Like, but that was like my own insecurity when I know that I did something wrong and I see them fingers moving. I'm like, yeah, she's talking shit. But I used to do that. But now I intentionally do not look at anyone's phone because I don't want anyone to do that to me. So I feel like if I put out what I want, then I will receive it. So I don't look anymore because I don't want anybody doing that to me.
So do you look in your man's phone?
Yeah. That, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Miss Explicit said, I'll never look at someone's phone again. And that was an accident because I seen something flashing and it was a butt plug.
Oh,
oh wow.
oh
Fancy. I've never tried those. All right. So I did see someone. So how did you react when did you see someone like texting like she's fucking up my hair or?
No, I didn't see anything like that, but what did I see? I can't even remember what I saw. It was nothing crazy about me per se, but yeah, I would just look if my own security is like, if she's talking about me, like, but if I ain't see my name, it's like, okay, cool. Let me look back to the right, let me look to the left, let me focus on your head.
All right. So what is up next for you?
I really am like sitting with all of my thoughts, trying to figure out what I want to do. I feel like I'm able to play around with it a little bit. I feel like a little bit free where I could just dibble and dabble and see what I want to do. During the break that I took before working, I was able to sit with my thoughts and grieve to myself. Like, I feel like I didn't really know what I wanted, and I'm still figuring it out. Like, you know what I mean? So
shout out to everybody figuring it out.
Right. No, seriously, because it's not easy. It's not easy. When people used to ask me to tell me about yourself, even that question was very difficult for me because I'm like, I don't know how to present myself. So even when you posted the flyer and I seen it, I was like, oh, I'm a spa stylist and I'm a CEO. I'm like, oh,
you are.
I was like, because even with that, it's very hard for me to even accept that. Like, I still don't, I'm not the person that's going to be like boss, or CEO of this, or I own this and that. So like, even now it's still hard for me to accept that, which I feel like I need to pat myself on the back.
Yeah.
But, that's really hard for me to accept. I still operate and speak as if, I operate a salon suite called the Hair Care Spa.
I know. Well, you even posted a video where you said like you don't mind when your clients smell like weed. It's okay.
Yep, I know you're gonna be chilling, laid back, nice and relaxed.
I love that. But I love that you are taking, the spa atmosphere, but you're kind of, blending it with your personality and with our culture, so I really love that. And you do need to pat yourself on the back. Because if you guys have never been around Miriam, she is so fun. Like, she just is always laughing, making a joke. Like, she's so fun to be around. She's really her personality on Instagram. And not a lot of people are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I did mention Ted Gibson earlier. So his haircuts are $1,200. Do you plan on going up on your price again? And if so, when?
I just did.
Okay.
So I just did it to because I was at $265 in February, and then this week I went to $285.
So you were $265?
Yep.
Okay, and now you're $285. Mm-hmm. We have another question. You guys, we're like on a countdown. I am still Erica. She said, how can I gain continuing clients that come back? She's a hairstylist.
You want to make sure that you're giving them an experience and a reason to come back, and make sure you're solving a problem. Like, because the main thing of client retention is solving someone's problem. If you're not solving their problem, then there's no need for them to come back. So if they want their hair to grow, you have to create a solution for them, a regimen and a schedule for them to come back. And this is what you need to do this week. This is what you need to do next week. And once you come back, you have to create a whole curriculum for them so they can come back, because that's the only way you can, create client retention, or they're just going to be coming in for the new year or their birthday or things like that. So you want to make sure you have a plan if you want to keep your clients in your chair.
I'm interested to know because me personally, like I said, I love to wear my natural hair. I'm not wearing it right now, you guys, because I chopped it off. So I'm starting over. But one person, Rachel Red, have you ever heard of her?
No, but
So,
let me just tell you something.
okay.
Before you keep asking me if I know people, I'm not good with names.
Okay.
So I'm probably just going to keep saying no. I don't know them.
It's okay. So Rachel Red, she's a black hair care stylist in Atlanta, and she specializes in color. Okay. And I always said that I wanted to get color done by her. So is there anybody that you look up to in the industry? Like,
yes.
You know who Kim, is it Kim?
Kim Kimball?
Yeah, okay. Is that someone you look up to, or?
I used to look up to her. Wait, sorry. I'm trying to be serious. Hold on. All right.
Stop it, Paula. Paula said, don't know nobody name. I'm the same way. Yo, I be outside and people come up to me like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh, like,
yeah,
I can't remember their name.
Who is that?
I feel so bad.
And shoot. But, I mean, it's hard now. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, let me know if you feel me on this. Like, before, like years ago, I looked up to so many people.
We got 1 minute left.
Then as you grow, you just like, they're not really doing anything. So it like kind of turns you off. So right now, I don't know who I really look up to right now.
You know, that's the smoke and mirrors. Like in every industry, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And one of my friends, Esco, he always says like there's 80% fluff with people just kind of like pretending. And then there's 20% of people who are actually really doing shit.
Yeah.
And that's really how it is in every industry. So I know exactly what you mean. We got 30 seconds, you guys. I really enjoyed this with you. Thank you so much for coming on, Miriam. And you guys, every Wednesday I'm here, but Miriam, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram. If you see a little button at the top, you know, press follow, DM me if you have any questions. I may answer them, I may not, but just send me a DM and I'm going to try to get back to you guys. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Thank you guys. It'll be on YouTube. We got 5 seconds. The replay is going to be on YouTube. We're still getting questions. They love you, Miriam. So